and welcome back to a long-awaited interview that we've been having, scheduled for the last 6-7 months. We're finally back here at the Dogman Vortex podcast under the West Coast Dogman Project. I'm your host, Shane Michael Crisp. My co-host Todd isn't going to be able to join us tonight, but he'll be back in May with a great line of interviews that we have set up. But I'm honored to finally have Stephen Noixium Berrios join me tonight. So I can't wait to just get him on and hear what he has to say. I know we've been waiting to do this for a long time, and well, we finally got something scheduled. I'm back behind the mic, and here we go. Let me bring him on. Noixium, how you doing today, brother?
Shane, thank you so much for having me on the program, Shane, and hello everybody out there at West Coast Dogman community. Thanks for having me here. I'm totally happy to be here. How are you?
Hey, no, we're honored to have you on. I'm doing great, brother. I was sorry we're running a little late. My daughter woke up, so I had to go feed her a bottle real quick, and here we are. We're about 7 minutes late, but hey, cryptids can always wait. Family comes first, so that's how I always look at it. But I'm honored to have you on, Stephen. Like I said, you've been a good friend of mine I think I met you under the NADP Region 1 page from what I remember, seeing all your posts, and we're only, 4 or 5 hours away from each other?
We're just like down the freeway 99, and at some point in time, I'm going to drive over there to come and see you so you could actually see these tracks. I've been wanting to show you these plaster cast tracks of mine for a long time, and and as a fellow Californian, you right down the road and everything, and I just connected with you right away after watching you a few times on your podcast. And I could tell right away, Shane, that you were a good dude, man. So I got to talk to him. So that's what happened.
No, like I said, I appreciate that,
bro. And I'm so happy that you are like doing your thing, and that I'm actually get to even talk to you, on occasion, and hopefully in the near future, I'm gonna make that trip. Actually, I've been wanting to take you on a few hiking trips, and I'm sure we're going to do that coming in the years to come. And yeah, anyway, thanks.
Yeah, no, we definitely will. And that's the thing. I want to go up to where you're at, actually, and go to the location where you actually track this beast and go from there. But I understand life happens. Yeah, I just had a daughter. So everyone that is watching, I was on a long hiatus. We just welcomed my daughter back in December, and then my son just started football. He just turned 12, so it's just like, man, we're constantly on the go. I mean, I say my life is like a California freeway. It's like nonstop. We're on the go from sun up, sundown, and then even after that. So especially with a newborn. So, but no, like I said, we'll definitely link up. You don't have to either come down here. I'll go up to you, or we'll meet in the middle. I mean, California is huge. And we have every type of background here. We have the oceans. We have the desert. We have the mountains. I mean, even where you're at, we near Lake Tahoe. So, I mean, going into that would be something that I'm looking forward to doing, and just learning the way of your people, the Yaqui tribe, and learning how you track. That's something I would love to learn from you, being an elderman of your tribe. And then maybe I could pass that on to other people down the road, So it's always something I look forward to doing.
Well, you know what? That's totally interesting that you should mention my people. Like, even though that I am, my ancestry is Yaqui. I actually grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area. My people left Arizona, many moons ago, and came over this way. And I grew up in the Bay Area. And at one time, we had a whole community of people of our people living together in Union City in Dakota. And little by little, everybody just started moving around. And before you knew it, I just had a couple of elders that I could actually cling on to that, were able to take me underneath their wing and teach me some really interesting things about nature and our spiritual ways of being on the planet. My cousin Rogelio, his brother Nacho, and I have a lot of other cousins out there that very spiritual people and into the earth. and so that's where I'm at with that. So I'm just totally happy to be a member of
Yeah.
the community.
Well, before we jump in, Noixium, before we jump in, I just wanted to welcome everyone that did jump in the chat that is in the live. I just wanted to scroll up really quick. P3 Productions jumped in, said hi. My good brother over at Paranormal Among Us, Paul, he jumped in to say hi. We got Laura, who's also a fellow native out there in Oklahoma. She goes under the name Oklahoma Nana. She did change it. It used to be OK Nana. Good old Laura Greenlee. Let's see, Marissa Baxter. She's on the live right now. She said, hi, Steven. I talked to you a while ago on Facebook. Super excited to hear your story and what else you have to share. Also, hi to you, Shane. Hope you and your family are well. Well, thank you, Marissa. We appreciate it for jumping on.
Marissa.
And let me scroll down a little bit more. Oh, Stuart Clark jumped in. Hey, how you doing, Rooster? How you doing, brother? Thanks for jumping on.
Oh, the Rooster.
And we have William Nighthawk.
Nighthawk.
William Nighthawk also has, yes,
right on,
he's got a very awesome podcast as well, and a fellow native. So you've got some fellow natives that jumped in. Oh, and I have to go. My mom had to jump in. Hi, Mom. How you doing?
Oh, right on, Moms. Oh, man. That's special.
Yeah,
right
so.
there.
Oh, yeah. I just was visiting with her right before we jumped on. So, but hey, enough about me, brother. Hey, the platform is yours. Can you give us a little brief bio on yourself?
Yeah. Well, Shane, like I said, I grew up in a place called Union City, but it was in a little barrio called Dakota. So, 8th through 8th Street, 1st through 15th Street, that was my neighborhood. And I was really lucky as a young boy. I had a creek really close to my house that was connected to the school. And, back in the day, I had no problem cutting class, man, and going up in the hills and studying nature as a young kid, going up there hiking alone, actually. You just go right up the creek and then keep going. Before you know it, you're up in the creek and you're studying, amphibians. There's frogs in there. There's newts going around different times of year, right? There's snakes and lizards and different kinds of birds of prey. And as a young boy hiking around like that, I just loved it, man. I just couldn't get enough of it. And, my dad was an outdoorsman, so he was always taking me out here and there too as a young boy. And I remember in 1968, he took me to the Center Theater in Fremont, California, and he showed me the Patterson Gimlin. It was the Bigfoot film on the big screen, right? Now I'm just a little dude. I'm only 8 years old, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what to expect. But I'm looking at this Sasquatch walking through this creek. I'm a little dude. It just it freaked me out. I was jumping up in my seat. I'm like, what the heck is that, Pops? And he was just going, oh, he didn't even know what to say. I mean, he was going, holy shit, I don't know what the hell that is, man. But, so anyway, he would always take us out. He was a big nature lover. He'd like to go to Yosemite. So, on the drive to Yosemite all the time, I'm all fired up. I'm going to see, I'm 8. Come on, man. So I'm thinking I'm going to be seeing Sasquatch right around the corner, right? Or every tree. I don't know. So anyway, I'm looking for Sasquatch at 8 years old at Yosemite. And, even though I didn't see it at that time, I was well on my way to being a naturalist, right? I mean, the hills were
Mm-hmm.
my outlet as I was growing up. My neighborhood is a pretty tough neighborhood I grew up in. And one outlet I had was the hills. That's where I would train for baseball. Because at first I thought I was going to be a professional baseball player. I was so into baseball. I would eat, sleep, and drink baseball, Shane, and everybody. So I'd run and train, and I would just absorb nature up there as a man, and biology and all my classes in college and everything relating to art and biology. And I went to Ohlone College, which is the local. Well, I graduated from high school, right? And that, in a way, is a milagro itself, because man, I was a notorious cutter, but that's a whole different story. Because I used to go outside, Shane. I said, man,
Mhm.
they can't teach me what I really need to know. And I would tell my dad, and my mom, my mom's all, I need, she just wanted me to get along with everybody, man, somehow. But I was going, man, I got to be outside. They got me cooped up in a classroom with somebody. I probably, I'm not into that, man. We're Native American. We
Right.
learned outside. We were outdoors. Everything that we know and love is out there. And anyway, it was a struggle, high school, but I did it, man. And then you got to go through everything else afterwards. So I went to the conservation corps for a period of time, and I learned all my tools and the the forestry trade. And
Mhm.
I loved that job. Forest firefighting, stream clearance, really rough, rugged. After high school, but I went back though and got my AA degree in art from the local community college, Ohlone College, which is named after the local Ohlone Indian tribe, the Costanoan people. So I was going to the college named after them,
Mhm.
and I was very proud that I was there to graduate. It took me a little while, but then I did that, and I'm on my way on AA degree. I go to work in the field, work with my dad a little bit in his shop. Ran my own shop, um, um, a bike shop for teenagers. The Union City Teen Employment Shops. I had a bunch of teenagers that worked for me, and I taught them gardening skills and permaculture, and they taught me bike repair. They were the teenagers of the chance. They know how to tear things up and put it back together, no problem, right? And so anyway, I did that. It was a lot of fun, but I was going to college at that time, so I was getting my bachelor of science degree at Cal State Hayward in park and recreation,
Mhm.
and I was doing my internship there. And I went to Sonoma Lonely Wilderness. Man, I hit it big time right there, brother. I loved that place so bad. If there was a place I could die in, it was that. It's there. It still is, man, because
Mhm.
that's an out of sight park, right? So I have to do an internship for my Cal State Hayward to get my bachelor of science degree, and I'm
Mhm.
working with the entomologist there, a fabulous naturalist, Katie Colbert. And she taught me a lot about entomology, and I was out there collecting a lot of insects for her and for the park, and we did, and they my enthusiasm for nature must have rubbed off, because man, after my internship was over, they hired me as an interpreter student aide. So now, boom, I to me,
Oh,
I
really?
hit it.
Okay.
I did it, man. After struggling, working, you're doing this, you're trying to do that, you're going to school, you finally get there. Bam, man. I'm there. I'm right at Sonoma Wilderness. Everything you ever wanted to know about life is right there, right? The Ohlone people live right there. There's edible foods of the forest. There's reptiles, amphibians,
Mhm.
mammals, geology, botany, dendrology, geology, anything you. I'm loving it, man. Right? It's a 3-year contract I'm under there, and I'm in part of what is known as the Interpretive Aid Student Training Academy. So every
Mhm.
your stuff for the park district, right? But every month there's a specialty class that you go to in the academy, and you learn from the professional naturalists that are there for the East Bay Regional Park District. So you're learning aquatic biology, right? You're learning geology and
Mhm.
ornithology from who are going to be your future colleagues and things like that. And so I'm meeting it all up.
Mhm.
And of course, one of these classes that are there, Shane, and community is animal tracking, plaster casting, how tracking. And as soon as I learned how to do that skill, you know, and then on a 3-day weekend seminar, uh, going to a few different parks and casting a bunch of tracks, I was hooked, man. I've never stopped tracking ever since. I make sure that my tracking bag is completely packed every single day. It's ready to roll ever since that day. So we're talking 1987, Shane,
Mhm.
all the way to right now. I've been tracking. So tracking just became a way of life for me. You know, it's like the guitar to Carlos Santana. Tracking is
Exactly.
me, man. So oh my God, so I just any chance I get, I just go do it, right? So after my 3 years of working for the East Bay Regional Park District, and my 3 year um, was up, I got picked up by the Hayward Recreation Department. I worked as a naturalist full time then at the Hayward shoreline. And you could go there, Shane, and anybody else, and you're guaranteed tracks there every single day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. There's tidal influx, there's sloughs everywhere. That's where I started doing public program tracking. So I was teaching school groups could come in. I was teaching on the weekends, anybody that wanted to come in and learn tracking. We'd go out on the marshland and we'd go and track. And to me, tracking is like instant enlightenment, bro. Boom! As soon as you make a track for somebody that you get it to me, they just go, "What the heck is that, man?" Right? And then that's how I make friends right there. Hey, check this out. And you see somebody with a bat, and they're all scared. They're all here. Have a track, man. What the heck is that?
Yeah.
You know, everybody just goes, "What the heck, right?" So tracking, you know, was doing it at the Hayward Shoreline, you know, for 5 years. Then I got picked up by Headlands Institute, where I went over there to run Headlands, did coastal ecology now. And then I worked for them for a number of years. And as a result of working for
Mhm.
them, I became a naturalist at Yosemite Institute. So I was doing a dual Headlands Institute, Yosemite Institute, and life was wonderful like that for 11 years until, until I moved out of that institute and started working full time up in the Sierra Nevada mountains at certain camps along the way. Now, my range, check this out, Shane, as a
Uh-huh.
professional naturalist, is the coast of California all the way from, oh, you could say, anywhere in the Bay Area, Sierra Nevada mountains to Yosemite, all the way to Quincy, California. So, see, from Yosemite to Quincy, and everything else in between, that's hundreds
Oh
of
wow. Okay.
miles. That's pristine wilderness. They call it the desolation
Oh
wilderness.
yeah, for sure.
And one of the reasons why I went working there is because I love remote
Mhm.
wilderness, man. And I was younger then too. I'm 63 now. I don't got the knees, the feet that I used to. I used to go deep. I still do every now and then. I might have a little in me, but I used to go far in there. And anytime my days off, I do my teaching with the kids Monday through Friday. Uh, on the weekends, it's mine. I head out and I go looking around for, as a naturalist, I don't particularly go looking for cryptid animal tracks. I look for any tracks, right?
Mhm.
Because I give like black bear tracks for Christmas gifts, and so I go looking for the best tracks, and and it takes me out there. Now, you know, in my time, all these years working in the Sierra Nevada mountains, okay, I've come across this one creature we call the Dogman, but I've also come across a few other cryptid creatures that nobody else has ever seen or come across. Now,
Mhm.
I'm a science teacher, so I go out there and my job is to find these things out, look for them. I find the truth, right? I'm driven by the creator to go out there and do what I got to do. So So where was I going? What was I going on with that one, Shane? Yeah. So yeah. So that I think that takes us up to where I'm at now in my career. So that was my buy. You know,
Okay. Well,
yeah,
that's what I was going to ask you real quick, Stephen. Your background, yeah.
yeah. So
Are you having a delay, or am I having a delay?
yeah,
Let's see. Hold
I
on, real
got you
quick.
now. But so up to that point, over the last 7 years, I've been kind of more or less strictly in the Sierra Nevada mountains working up there. Up until a couple of years ago, since this incident happened, and since it happened, I have not worked as a naturalist. However, I've had to deal with a lot of health issues and other things that have happened since then. But I'm much better now. I'm picking up the pace, feeling a lot better. It took me a little while to get back into gear. But like I said, feeling much better, Shane, and everybody.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you before we. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. That's the thing I wanted to ask you. Also, Nighthawk had a question he wanted to ask you. He said, Stephen, did your elders keep you drilled daily with all the people's legends? Heck, they would tell me so much it ruined my schoolwork. LOL.
Well, you know, interesting. You know, I had one cousin in particular, Rogelio. This guy, he was a botanist, an herbalist, a genius. And even though our people are from Arizona, check this out. We're originally from Arizona, the Sonora Desert. You know, we come over here in California. Well, my cousin, this guy, you know, he's one of those mystery men that knows many things without even having to be in a book, man. You know, he's an experimenter. The shaman of the family goes out there and experiments with all the different plants. I was blessed to have this gentleman in my life because he is my elder. So he would take me out and teach me the edible foods of the forest, how to make medicine. So I didn't have that kookiness of all the you know, I had other I had other relatives tell me about the kukui and you know the crazy things that are out there, but for the most part I was lucky to have some very knowledgeable people in my family that kind of more or less took care of me. So we're not into, you know, spooking people out, really.
Well,
right? So I'm not here to
yeah,
spook
no, that's
you
what I
out.
wanted to ask you.
I have no intention of spooking anybody out.
Right,
It's just my job as a naturalist that I had to go out there and do what I had to do.
Yeah, no, exactly. You had to do what you had to do. So jumping into your Dogman encounter, this happened in 2021 or 2022, right?
2021. So it's already 2 years down the line, Shane.
Oh, 2021. Okay.
But I tell you, even though it was just 2021, you know, it's still, you know, it's still fresh in my head. There's no way that you could get such a thing out of your head. And then, you know, Shane, I don't know which is even worse, coming across this creature in the mountains or the response that I've been getting from a lot of relatives and colleagues that just turn their backs to me. So I'm really happy that I have this opportunity to, you know, to tell my story, because I haven't been able to in almost 2 years, been shunned back basically. But you know, it's taken a long time to clean the tracks that I have, Shane. Like, okay, I need to go back a little bit. You know, I know we want to go to the incident, but before that, I need to talk about California geology.
Yeah, go ahead. Like I said, the platform's yours.
Okay, check this out, folks out there. You know, California, geology plays a major role in the tracking that I do. I do a lot of tracking in the Sierra Nevada mountains. I want to let you know that on the west side, that's the Pacific Plate. And on the east side of the Sierra Nevada mountains, that's the North American Plate. So on one side, you have sedimentary soil, you have slate and cherts and sandstones. Those are all on the west side. On the east side of the Sierra Nevada mountain, that's all igneous volcanic rock up there. So on one side, the animals that lay their tracks down on the earth, they're laying it on mud surface, slate. After it weathers down, it creates excellent mud surfaces. One of the reasons why I go there is for that reason. I go, man, I'm going to get the baddest ass bear tracks and any other tracks, mountain lions, coyotes, in that mud surface. And I go a lot there. So I have to wait till the spring thaw on the east side because that rock, that volcanic rock is porous. So the area that I'm in is andesite, right? There's granite, there's basalt there around there, but andesite, this lava flows all over the place. If you take a look, you could see it. And then the big caldera, at one time the volcano popped, it blew its stack. This is a place this is at 38 degrees northwest latitude, 121 degrees northwest longitude. Shoot, right there. That puts you right in the desolation wilderness. My backyard, my bioregion, my territory. So even though that these other creatures that are out there, there's Sasquatch out there, there's this Dogman and a few other things, they're there. And they got a lot of space to move around in. So, so where was I at, Shane, with that? Okay, so anyway,
you were talking about
that area, it's wide open. There isn't even any other than the camp, right? There's camps on the fringes of the desolation wilderness where there's electricity has to come in somewhere, right? Lighting in the camp, showers, plumbing, everything that has to happen in the camp. So there has to be electricity, but we're on the fringes of it. So just the outskirts, it is pristine wilderness, baby. And that's what I love. I used to get up. Now look at in my camp that I used to work at. I'm going to call it Camp Arcade. I'm not going to give you its real name just yet. Maybe on part 2 I will. I'm trying to get 2 tracks back from my track collection from the director of the camp, who for some reason is reluctantly giving me the 2 tracks back. That's another story altogether. So this area that we were in, so I was just giving you the little breakdown, west side, east side. So on this side right there, right? Okay. I guess we're ready to talk about the encounter itself, right?
Let's jump in.
Man, I don't know. I've been rambling. I just go, I just keep going like crazy shit. I know. And,
Hey, the platform's yours. You do what you have to do, brother. Like I said, we're all listening.
Okay, check this out. Now, the COVID year was a messed up year for everybody in the whole world, right? Including me. Our camp shut down that year. There was no camp. So I was unemployed that year. However, at the same time, I was taking care of my elderly dad. So I went and moved back in with him because I was worried of COVID. I had to make sure that I had to take care of the old man. And so, it was fun in a way. Sort of. He and I were always watching all these scripted programs up to the day he passed out. He loved watching Bigfoot programs still to this day. And so anyway, that year shut us down, and I believe that is the year that that summer prior to COVID was a horrible year in California for forest fires. I'm sure you remember all the
Yes, it
forest
was.
fires that were taking place everywhere, man. In Fresno, and the Kings Canyon, the Tahoe Forest, everywhere was just going crazy. I believe
Yeah,
at that
California
point,
was literally under hell.
I believe at that time there were reports at that time that the Dogman was in Southern California, and then all of a sudden he made his way all the way to my camp. Now we have 21 cabins there, a mess hall, a science room, bathrooms, everything that you need in a camp, man, is right there. So soon, I'll tell you something. I have a sixth sense about things anyway. So when I first drove onto camp, I could feel something was totally off. And I have to be honest. I have to be absolutely respectful when I'm on that land. That's Washoe land. That's Native American land there. That's where the Washoe people live for thousands of years. There's sacred sites there. So when I go there, Shane, I automatically take out the tobacco pipe and, I say my prayers. I'm always thanking the Creator for giving me another opportunity to live another day. And that, this prayer goes out to anybody who's suffering for any reason. May they find peace and happiness soon, if not now. And that may the Creator and His guardians protect me and all those around me. That's kind of like the prayer that I say. And I'm telling the Washoe people, dependent that stingment that washiyesh, weshiyesh, tenesh noxium, aite lo and te chuchen te kangeme, ten wankesh. So I'm telling them in my own language that I'm a teacher, that I've come in to this land, and I've come to teach here, that I've come in peace, ten wankesh. I am a helper. And that's how I have to start. And that's basically how I have to start everywhere. And that's just the way that I do it. And then, I have, I say a couple of chants, prayers, and I have my clap sticks, and I let the animals know that I'm there. You got to let the creatures know that you're there. So I let them know that I'm there right away. And I'm back in camp. And now look at, nobody was there in camp for a whole year. So the place is all crusty, cruddy. There's mold. Everything is jacked up, man, right? All the pipes have to get fixed. Me and a co-worker are there 2.5 weeks before anybody shows up. Everything has to be running perfectly. So not only am I the science teacher, the naturalist, the art teacher, I'm also the maintenance man. I'm I'm second in command. The other dude, the guy the director of the camp, he's number one, I'm number two. Should be the other way around, because the guy don't know shit about nature. He's a great maintenance man. He knows a lot of stuff about this and that I don't know. He don't know, but he don't know, man. He shouldn't be in his
So
position.
you're practically saying you're a Swiss Army knife.
Oh yeah, you just I got lucky. Like I said, my dad was he had his own body shop, auto body shop. So you got to know your tools there. You got to know your measurements there.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything that has to do with it, whatever. And then I was in the conservation course. So you got to know your tools. You got to know how to sharpen things. You got to know how to take care of things. So so there's
jack of all trades.
Yes. So and then the microscopes in there. They got to get clean. Everything, petri dishes, because I'm a big, even though I'm a big tracker. Check this out. Even though I'm a big tracker, my forte, believe it or not, is aquatic biology, bro. I love aquatic biology, man. But it's tracking. I dig, right? I go do what's so anyway. So check this out. So I'm back now. Look now. Check this out, Shane. I have a cabin, right? I have a cabin but I pitched my tent on the outskirts of the camp. Then my cabin is actually just my office. My tent is where after I gotta take care of kids, right? Almost 24/7 in ways, except for my time off after I put them to bed. So when I get them up, they got to have breakfast, get them rolling, hiking all day. Got to get them lunch, hike all day. They got an evening program. Then I put them to bed. I don't want to be in camp, man. I want to be in my tent. So away from the noise, right? Right after lunch, there's noise. Dinner, there's noise. They're playing ping pong, horseshoes. Every little kid's running around going there. It's dusty. I'm on the outskirts. I am right on the fringes of the wilderness, which I prefer.
Mhm.
I'm always there. And Shane, I have with me inside my tent a pot and pan. I sleep with a big 14-inch knife. I have
Oh wow.
spears. I have spears right here. I have like 3 spears, a couple of knives. I could go like this. If anything wants to take me out, I'm gonna hit them, man. I'm gonna kill them back, or I'm gonna get some DNA on them. That's just the way that I do it, man. So I'm very light sleeper out there. I could hear any little animal. Usually when a bear or coyote comes around, I get the pot and pan. Ding, they're out. Now, this first night, I want to show you. I want you. Oh, okay, the first. I just got to tell you the first night, man, and then I'll take question because I'm talking too much already. I want to show you tracks and stuff like that. But the first night, man, so I'm
You're
going
good.
okay.
You're good.
I have my tent. Now look at. I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. Another reason why I got okay. Check this out. In my tent, I got a cooler in there. Always have my 6-pack of beer right after I put all the kids to work at 10 o'clock. I have my beer and then I'm easy to go to sleep. This particular night, I'm kicking back at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm in my tent. It's cold, but I want to be there because it's 34 degrees. I could have been in my tent, man. I mean, in my cabin with the heater on. But I'm all, ooh, I got my tent. I'm in the wilderness. I'm here. I put my tent up. I got my blankets. I'm staying outside. Shit, I don't need to be indoors. I'm hanging out, man. And then at 3:15, 3:20, dude, I hear it. I hear something I have never heard. And I know that I've never heard this. So I better just shut the F up, man. I mean, I've never heard this sound before. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm talking 25 steps right to my tent. This full moon. This is weirder than a B-rated monster movie because that son of a gun is real. And he's right there. And he goes right to my tent, Shane, and I'm going like this. I already have my knife right here. I actually had one right here, and I'm going, oh, this is how it ends? This is how it ends for me, man.
Mhm.
Death by fucking werewolf is exactly what I was thinking. So I have my spiletos right there. I'm looking at this thing. I'm 3 feet away. He gets his fingers because you know what? He's a bipedal, but he's got arms, got hands, he's got thumbs. He's not used to seeing tents in his territory. This is all his territory now. It isn't mine yet. I just got back. He's been there 1.5 years. So he's going, and I'm just going, whew. And you could see this silhouette, Shane. And this is why this kind of really bothers me still to this day at night, and why I don't really sleep very well anymore. And I get up like at 3:15 every morning now. Is because he went cracked his neck, man, his shoulders, and went. And I mean, his jaws snapped so hard, it was like an alligator's, man. Chomp, chomp, chomp. And I just said, okay, this is how it ends for me. I am just so happy that I'm even able to talk to you about this, man, because I was just looking at this thing going, all right, man, I'm trying to project into his brain that I'm the science teacher, that I am here, and you're going, trying to get me to flinch. I said, I know a lot about animals, and I know animal behavior, and I kind of know more or less what to do at certain times. And hopefully, so far it has worked out in my favor. But that night it wasn't going to if I would have did anything other than what I did. Because I knew I was going to it was done. I was dead meat. There was no way. No way. So I just played possum. This thing, I'll tell you, because it wasn't just one night that I saw this thing. This is over a 10-day period. So I got Paranormal Paul asking me how tall it was. So I got several looks at this thing running through the forest during the day. And easily 6'5", easy, dude, easy, 285 pounds solid muscle. I don't know if he's 300 pounds, but man, he's like, whoo, he's got.
Stephen, really quick. Paul with Paranormal Among Us wanted to know how tall was this Dogman that you saw.
That's what I was saying. He's about 6'5", 280, 285.
Oh, okay.
Nothing but muscle. Moves like this, man. He has absolute determined footsteps. Very top dog, very strong movements. And he's a tricky creature. He stays behind the tree lines because he likes to be camouflaged, right? So he's always going. And then he walks on top of his footsteps to and fro. So he's patrolling, Shane. He could patrol, and he doesn't like to variate too much. He doesn't, like a bear will just go anywhere, right? Deer will go certainly. The coyote will follow the deer, and they'll go. This guy stays in one line. So he's going to and fro. And a lot of the tracks that I plaster casted of this thing actually show that. Because he's going this way and going that way. He's going this way. So these tracks that I have, they're absolutely bizarre, because some of them are larger than others. Some have more of the claw mark on there, the heel, because that terrain is really tricky. Like I said, it's all volcanic flow. So check this out. So as it's weathered over the last million years or so, it's crumpled down to gravel, pebbles. You can't. We humans can't walk barefoot there. We tiptoe everywhere. There's pine cones everywhere. There's the pine needles of the pine cones. It's a mixed conifer forest. So there's different types of pine needles that are from the lodgepole pines that are this big to the sugar pine needles that are that big. And the little lodgepole pine needles that are that big, they go in your toes, man. You're going to be jumping up and down, going, I eat, chooch, out, chooch, pulling them out. This guy walks right over these things like, hey, there ain't nothing. Steps right on pine cones, man. Flattens them. He's like built like I've said this to some other people, a middle linebacker in the NFL without pads. He's Mean Joe Green back in the day, the Pittsburgh Steelers dude, man. He's right there. And he moves that same way. He's on the balls of he's an athlete. He moves on the balls of his feet. Boom, boom. Puts a lot of weight on the front of his feet. So that's the first night, bro. that was my first night. But I wanna change the things really quick. And hold on, Shane.
Yeah, no problem. When you get back, we have a couple questions that we wanted to ask you really quick.
Check this out.
Before we jump into the tracks, can we, real quick, Stephen, we have two questions that I wanted to see if we can get answered real quick. TGC asked, when you first saw him, did he poke his head into the tent, or were you outside the tent when you first ran into your first encounter with the Dogman?
I was inside. He was outside. I was inside my tent. It was at check this out. It's at 3:15 in the morning a.m., man. So he woke me up, but it's fully lit. It's fully lighted right there. The moon is beaming right down on the forest floor, and I did not put my light on. That would have just, he could have just ripped open my tent right there if I would have put a light on. That's why I played a possum. You just go, all right, you know. Even though I got
Carlito's in the chat too. Just wanted to give him a shout out really quick. Carlito jumped in. I know Carlito's interviewed you once or twice already before, right? Once. I think it was about a year or two ago. Oh, was it once?
I'm still eating that, man. Okay. I just put it right there.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll bring you a chat.
All right. I'm at a anyway.
Oh yeah. So if you want to jump in, well, if you want to cover the tracks, we can jump into the tracks now.
Well, you know what, Shane? I just want to dedicate this one track to you, man, because you showed a lot of interest in this one track, and you saw that it was such a strange track. So I just want to.
I appreciate that.
and you know, it's this track right here, man. And for your viewers,
that to me is the most intriguing one. If anyone can actually see it, if I open up another link right now, because I'm on my tablet, it's going to make this really delayed. So I'll post the pictures on the Facebook group. But if you look at this track, just to see how it curls, like it's gripping the earth, that one's the most intriguing one to me.
Well, check this out. This one is interesting that it has a humanoid foot. Actually, this is almost like a human foot. This is actually a right foot. So one of the things about this creature is that it has a heel, and the heel is actually formed inward. You know, that's an adaptation for gripping onto rocks. You know, we humans have a rounder heel. We don't have a heel that's designed like this one track with the heel like this, and then at the end of the heel, we certainly don't have claws. So I'm going to go a little bit closer.
Of course not.
This is like one of the gnarliest tracks I have ever plastered. And this thing just gripped the ground. Like, I'm actually extremely proud of this track because it is just so wild, man. And look at how deep he went right here. This is all one footprint. So that's a step down. And then you can see I'm trying to get, you know, I'm in an unusual place. However, I call this the Holy Grail of tracks. This is one that, other than this animal making this track can never be replicated. Only this creature can make this track. There's no doubt about it. You and I.
Noixium, I wanted to ask you, what type of gravel? What type of gravel was this casted in?
You see that? This is that andesite gravel.
Is it andesite?
So we're talking igneous. We're talking igneous rock here. So if you and I were to put our feet into this thing, we'd break every single toe in our foot. Our nails would be bent backwards. There's no way that this could be a human could even conceive of doing this. So, you know, this was the first track this was right outside my tent, actually. So it was the first track that I came across, and when I saw it, I was going, oh my gosh. And even though my life was in danger, I said to myself, oh my gosh, the creator just threw me a curveball. There's no way in the world I'm going to leave. For one thing, I'm the head naturalist, right? I don't know what the heck's going on here, but I have to find out what this is about. And now the challenge is on. The creator does not put things in front of me that I cannot handle, even though it's been a little bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be. So this is the first one that I plastered. And every time I was plastering, that son of a gun was around, and you could smell him. He smells like wet pelt, man. Wet wolf, wet urine wolf. You know, they mark their territory and then they rub it in there. He smells like that. Yep. And then you could
now,
smell
did you ever
him.
have a certain? Yeah, I was going to ask you. Were you able to pick up that smell that this Dogman had right off the bat, or was it something you had to picked up when you were tracking it?
Well, you know what? If you're downwind, you can smell them easy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you about this creature because I checked out. You know what? I'm lucky that I'm just giving you this info because 10 days with this thing. If anybody ever comes across this creature, don't spend 10 minutes there. Get the heck out of there. Me, I'm a trained naturalist scientist, and I had to do what I had to do, so I stood there. But every time that I walked because after the first night, I was in my cabin. I didn't sleep in my tent anymore. I was in my cabin, and I wouldn't even, and so I had to do my shift still. So I'm still cleaning cabins, cleaning the bathrooms, cleaning the science room. During the day, this son of a gun's running around camp all over the place. Check it, I see him running here and there. I'm telling my partner, I go, hey man, we got Dogman running around here, dude. And this guy going, you know what? He goes, it's gonna leave. We're here now. It's gonna leave. And even though he was scared, he was giving me fucking chicken shit answers to everything. The second day, he and I measured the stride of this thing, 29 inches long, man.
Wow.
29 inches long, and I looked at him all, look at this thing, man. The creature got inside the bathroom and he rolled all over the place and he made it stink like wolfman. He stunk the shit out of it, man. It's so bad. I was using triple pine Sol to clean it, and it wouldn't even clean it. It stunk like shit. It just wouldn't leave. And just all the tracks here and there. That last one that I dedicated to you, man, that was a really good one. I want to show you another one really quick, all right?
Yeah, when you get that track, I have one question from Nighthawk. Nighthawk wanted to know, Steven, did the Dogman have a tail, and what color was it?
His face is like his wolf. He's got a protruding nose. He's got brown. He's got brown right here. He's black. Mm-hmm. His tail is black. He's black, but he's got patches of brown. So his nutties comes out to here. He's got canines that big. He's got bigger than average canines, right? He's the top dog, man. Bears don't even mess with this thing. Hey, check this out.
Daisy wanted to ask, what eye color was it? Were you able to ever see its eyes? Did it give off like an amber color, or was it like yellow? Like, did it illuminate?
It's yellowish.
Yellow. Oh, okay.
If you put the flashlight on him at night, you're gonna see it. He's got eye shine. But check this out. He goes around day and night. He's diurnal, nocturnal. He sleeps when he likes. He lives in a cave, man. He lives in caves in there, and he could choose any cave he wants. Mm-hmm. He's almost there ain't nobody. I don't recommend anybody going out there and tracking this thing, but he's almost an impossibility to track. He's so fast. You there's people say I'm going to use a a podcast, all these things. You don't want to do that, and I'm going to tell you why. He's got a nose like a dog, man. He could smell you from a distance. His ears, he could hear you from hundreds of feet away. He's got binocular eyes. He could see you, and he's got this crazy dog man brain. So he could even mess with you if he wants to, right? Because he knows that he's the top dog. Hey, but check this out. This is another track that I have of this creature right here, and just take a look at how deep this guy could really go in the earth right here. And remember, this is like that volcanic soil, and cleaning these things is like, it's like concrete itself. A little bit different.
It's a very interesting track for sure.
Yeah, and then there's just the claw marks in the front right here. Look at that. That's it gripping. That's how it grips.
That elongated heel's what really intrigued me too.
Yeah, he's a gripper. He's able to grip that soil and push powers forward. He doesn't mess around. Hey, this guy, he's so well camouflaged. I'm just getting right here to Paranormal Paul. You got to go slow in the forest as you walk around. People go into the forest really fast. They expect to see things. When you go in there, you're supposed to go slow and don't expect nothing. Whatever is going to be presented will. So they're excellent at hiding in the woods. Unless you know what you're looking for, you ain't going to see them. But they are going to be seeing you. They could, like I said, they got binocular visions. They could see you from a distance. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree on that aspect. Now, that's another thing I wanted to ask you. When you tracked it for 10 days. Did you track it all the way to the cave where it lives, or did you end up stopping halfway in between?
Man, I tell you, Shane, when I first came in contact with this thing, I knew that my life was going to change, right? These creatures that are in our lore, we've known about them for a real long time. It's bad juju to see one. But like I said, I don't back down too much. And this was when I saw these tracks, I said, I might get my head ripped off, but nobody's going to believe me unless I come back with something, right? And the creator gifted me with tracking abilities, taught me how to track, something like I've been doing, like I've been telling you. So even though I was putting my life in danger every single day, 10 straight days, I went out there in the forest. I was asking that guy, John, to come with me, and he wouldn't do it. The director of the camp. I was like, okay, man, we're off our ship. I had my backpack, I had my knife. At that time, I was carrying 3 weapons. I had my big 14-inch knife, my spear, and I was carrying a pick. So I had 3 things. So if this thing was going to attack me, boom, 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 I was going to do what I can to protect myself and drive a spear right through its neck if I could.
Exactly, yeah.
It was the spookiest thing I ever did, man, because my cabin, there's some photographs. We'll share those another time, I guess. But my cabin is right there. The forest is right there. So one of his trails went right through the forest, right from my cabin number 1.
Mhm.
The I only had time to put trail cameras up one day, but I put him in that one position for a reason, because he was coming through to and fro, and it caught him coming through. Well, I went in there by myself. That dude didn't want to go. He was kicking back inside his cabin. He was scared. I don't blame him, man. Who's in the right mind is gonna go chase a werewolf in the forest? Shit.
Right.
So I was
You
like,
have to be
okay,
crazy like us.
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, man. I have no other choice, man. I'm gonna go get. I'm off. Today's a great day to die, is what I would say as soon as I would go out. I'd light up my sage and I'd smudge myself completely, more than I normally do, to get the smell off of me. Even though, like I said, he knew him. He was following me. I became the prey when I was out there. It was
Yeah.
a much different scene than just taking a little trip on a nature hike. Oh, look at there's a beautiful deer. And oh, look at there. There's a werewolf ready to kill the deer. But that's not true at all either, Shane, because this creature had spooked every single animal out of the forest, man. Even the bears. I normally go over there. I see them all. I even seen fishers there, pine martens, ringtails. Those are not normally known animals that are predators there, right? Fishers and nobody, So anyway, those creatures live there. They're backcountry predators. I couldn't find a single thing other than chipmunks and squirrels, man. And that's because they could go and they're too fast for this thing. He ain't gonna waste
Well,
his
that's what I
time.
wanted to ask you, Stephen. When you were tracking it, was it? They say that when you run into a apex predator like a Sasquatch or a Dogman, the woods are deathly silent. Where did you experience any of that?
I mean, dead silent. And that's what happened the first day that I was
Wow.
there. That I was saying that things were something's wrong. Almost something don't feel right. Something's wrong. There ain't no animals here. There ain't even any birds. I was just going, what the heck is going on here? Not even a chirp of a cricket. Nothing, man. And I was just going,
Dead silent, huh?
absolute silence. And that itself is spooky. You usually hear the chipmunks laughing and running, and everything was just totally hiding. Something was absolutely scared there, and including me. I'm gonna tell it to you plainly, man, because there's no way. It's not a fun thing going out there looking for something that can actually kill you. But like I said,
for sure, I agree.
it would have just been a story. Oh, I would have just told the story, and oh man, you're full of shit. Look at that dude. You told something, but you know what? I came back with tracks, and I like those to be looked at. I'm a serious tracker. So don't put me down until you look at the tracks that I brought.
Yeah, no, I agree. I can't wait to see those tracks. Actually,
humans can't make them. Humans can't do that. We don't leave a divot in the earth there in that area. It's impossible. It's humanly impossible. And then there's the fact that I saw it running around, man. And then, okay, I have some people looking at some of the footage on. Oh, those are just images. Images of what? Something had to move the trail camera in order for it to click. So these are all things that are just coming out still, right? So I'm still cleaning the tracks. Check this out. I was able to plaster cast 20 tracks. I have 18 tracks. They're so hard to clean. Like I was telling you earlier, Shane, the sedimentary soil on the west side, all you need is soap and water, you know, a little pick, X-Acto knife, toothbrush, soap. Those come out really nice and clean.
Mhm.
I'll show you an example. This is another bear track. This is a recent bear track. It's a slide of a bear track. Very big bear. Look at this guy. And this is all on that sedimentary soil on the west side. Like I said, very easy to clean. Soap and water, X-Acto knife. I'm able to get really an excellent bear track right here. And compared to, you know, the creature, this is the comparison between two different tracks. So you have one on,
Yeah, I was gonna say the Dogman's track's more narrow with that elongated hill.
right. He's very narrow, but check this out. Even bears don't make this deep a divot inside that area. There's just no way. You got to have power to go that deep in the earth in order to. You're driving your foot in, and this bear right here, this is just a step. This is he just went stepped in mud, man. That's all this is. So they're really easy to clean. Like this one that I dedicated to you at the beginning, the big grip one. This is done on that hard igneous soil. So they're a little bit harder to clean, and you can see a lot of salt and pepper in there, a lot of rocks, feldspar, other igneous rocks in here that came out of the volcano. So these ones right here, each one takes me about 3 weeks to clean, and I'm talking just one.
Wow.
And check this out. They stood in my. I was so freaked out over what I did that these stood in the response I got from people. They stood in the trunk of my car for a year and a half because I couldn't even take them out and look at them. And then other people, that could be to anything. Some man, that's to me, that's the biggest dumbass answer anybody could ever give me. That could be to anything. It has to be to something. I got a motto. Tracks don't lie, neither do I, man. And when I tell you I saw this thing, you better believe me. And not only that, I got his tracks. And you know what? Each one, that motherfucker almost bit my head off, man. So each one, so it's no reason why I kind of like suffer from what they call post-traumatic stress disorder now. Yeah, man. But you know what? It's okay. You know what?
Well, yeah,
Like
especially when after you see something like that.
Yeah. It does. It does something to you. And you know what? I got about as close as any human has ever gotten without getting his head ripped off and taken to its cave and eaten.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you, Noixium. We had a couple questions. Laura wanted to know: are you still being followed when you go out there? Is this thing still present in the area, or did it move on?
Oh boy, Oklahoma Nana. I'll tell you what. Let's answer that question in part 2.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, I have one more question that looks like from Carlito. He wanted to ask,
Hi.
did your elders ever tell you stories about the Dogman when you were growing up?
It's known by another name. It's known by a name that shall not be mentioned. So, you know, I have heard stories, right?
Mm-hmm.
Only, Yeah, I've heard a lot of stories. Only now I'm in one. I wasn't planning on that, man. Uh, yeah, he's
Well,
one
if it's
tough
personal and
customer
it's
too.
something that, yeah, that's what I was going to say. If it's something that you can't say, or if it will bring bad omen or anything, we don't have to say that. You can either tell me on the phone, or you don't have to say it out of respect for you and your tribe. So,
You know, I'm here to tell you about this. A little bit of my experience, but also, I wanted to show you some of the tracks that I have. I'll turn it this way because I
oh
got a
wow,
table. I got a table full of them right there, and those are the ones that I'm cleaning still. Like I said, I plaster casted 20, and I have 18, and each one, like I said, takes a long time.
oh yeah,
I,
for
I
sure.
got to I got to show you one. I got to show you one of my favorite tracks. All of them are like my favorite ones, man. But this one that I'm going to show you is okay. Now look, I do a lot of tracking, man. This one's the all-time baddest ass track. I'll be right back. I got it right here. Check this out.
Yeah, grab it. I just want to say thank you everyone that joined in tonight.
Look at this one.
Oh, that's the one I've seen. Yes, I was waiting for that one.
So look
Look
at
at it. It looks like the thumb almost, like that
yeah,
disposable
yeah,
thumb just gripping it.
yeah. Look at the top. And
Yeah, there
I'll
you go.
I'll tell you why this is my favorite track of all time. Well, look at, for one thing, this guy, he could literally rip your face off with one paw.
Mhm.
This is not a coyote. This is not a mountain lion. It's actually bigger than both of them. This guy right here, yeah, he even has his little thumb sticking in there. Look at that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just it's like almost like this, like it was gripping the earth. It's like
Well, check this out, Shane and everybody out there. There was a work crew that got there. It was about the fifth or sixth day, and I'm already I'm I'm tripping, man. The last few nights, I was coming in at night. By the way, I'd do my shift at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I get done at 3 o'clock. From 3 to 7:30, I was out in the wilderness looking for this guy. And
Mhm.
then by nighttime, I had all my food. Everything was already in my cabin. I double bolted the doors, slipped in dustpans underneath the doors. I had it rigged. It wasn't not going to come in. Um, but a road crew they came in. They were building not a road crew. They were a construction crew came in, and we were designing a lower ropes course. And I had designed this 3 years prior, man, and we finally got the go ahead to install all these activities for the kids, lower challenge course. I was so happy to be back in camp, dude. You have no idea, until this son of a gun came. And then they brought a backhoe and they moved soil right next to a tree, right? Well, I knew that this guy was going down the tree line, and I'd seen a few tracks of his before. But that night that they put the loose soil next to the tree, this guy came and he stepped downward. That's what this is right here. This is a step downward, and he gripped the earth with his claw.
Mhm.
Look at that. He gripped it and pulled out and pushed off. Here's the big thing about this track, Shane. It shows an ankle. That's its ankle right here. It's bigger than mine.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's huge. Like it sank down into the earth, like you can say, it's gripping it.
Yes, he went in super deep. this is another track that could never ever be replicated other than this animal. And no other animal can ever do this. This is just a miracle track. And to me, that's why it goes into my tracking Hall of Fame of tracks. Like this one.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say it's a really good track. You got a lot of good ones.
Yeah. So this is another great track, man. And like I said, dude, this is unbelievable, extreme, extra great track. And this is what I look for when I track. I look for the absolute best tracks.
Well, hey, Carlito had one more question. He wanted to ask you, Stephen, what information your elders told you about the Dogman. Is that something that you can share?
Not on this one, but let me think.
Okay.
Look, I'm all messed up, man. I shouldn't have did what I did, but like I said, I had no other choice to do what I did. I don't want anybody going out there. If you heard any stories about this Dogman, they're probably true. And you know what? I would not mess with this thing. Like I said, I'm a naturalist, so I go out there and do these kinds of things. If I ran into his tracks again, shit, I have to do it all over again. That's just what I do, man.
Yeah.
So hopefully I don't know. I've been looking for Sasquatch all this time, man. I'm still looking for Sasquatch.
Not expecting a werewolf or a Dogman out in Mother Nature. But another question we had from TGC said, what have other naturalists said about your tracks? Have they analyzed them?
Excellent question. Check this out, Shane. I've only shown these tracks to 5 people.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And there's a reason. You know, I needed somebody in the field, right? So I'm not at liberty to give names right now. Let me check. But one of my very best friends is CDF fire chief. And I showed it to him. He was one of the first ones I seen that I showed it to, right? And, you know, he was working. He was going to retire. And he told me, oh, God dang it, leave it up to my buddy Esteban here to give me the most controversial tracks I've ever seen. He goes, brother, man, I'm retiring. I don't need this right now. He goes, I can't help you right now. That's one naturalist in the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of my best friends. Second person, park ranger, state park ranger, California. Very dear friend of mine. This one I could tell her name. Her name is Catherine Mandela. A very, very good ranger and naturalist. One of the only people that I would ever show these to tell you the honest truth. This person is very knowledgeable on tracks and nature and science in general. So when I went to her and showed her them, she said one word, nuts, with an exclamation mark. The third ranger. Now this is when I was I didn't know what the heck to do, dude. I was hot on the trail, dude. I was going fucking crazy, man. When this first happened, I gotta go back there. I don't know what to do. You know, I ran into another ranger friend of mine, and I showed him the tracks, and he just looked at me. He goes, oh, brother, man. He goes, dude, you've been doing this a long time, haven't you? I go, dude, you know, yes, I have. I asked him, I go, man, you know what? I don't want to. I go, but I need somebody to go back with me to have my back because I know where this son of a bitch lives, and I need to go back over there. I didn't get enough tracks or evidence. I need to go back. And he told me flat out, he goes, I have a wife and family, my friend. I can't go with you. He goes, I won't. There was 3, right? Now, the fourth and fifth, this is my business partner at San Bruno Mountain Watch. He's a genius, this guy. His name is Ken McIntyre. I love this man. Him and his wife, Joan. She's a science teacher. Both these, they got brilliant minds, man. They're so sharp. I love them, man. If you're out there, I love you folks. I'll talk to you soon. Anyway, I showed them. And my buddy Ken, he just nodded his head. He goes, yeah. He goes, you did it. And I showed him the photos too. I go, Ken, he's my business partner, right? One of my best friends. Ken, this happened to me. So he and I sat together and he saw a bunch of the photos. He saw the tracks. He said, I don't know how in the heck you did it. And you're still alive. I love you, bro. you're still here, man. And his wife, Joan, she was just going, oh my gosh. She's holy Noixium. How in the world did you track this creature? And I was like, it sure isn't easy, man. So I'm very particular of who I want to show these tracks to. You got to be clued in. You got to be in the field. I don't want to just show them to somebody who's a supervisor at Tesla, right? Or somebody who's a PG&E lineman.
Someone that isn't open-minded.
I want you to be in the field, science, some interest in this, to look at them. Don't look at them and tell them, oh, you're full of shit. You know what? Each one of these came at a big price to me. I almost had my head ripped off each time. So I have to apologize to everybody out there for being this werewolf that I was over the last year and a half, because you know what? I probably wasn't the happy, chipper guy that I normally am. And, I just want this naturalist dude. I just love nature and everything. That's all I want to do. But I'm telling you, I come across a few things out there. So not just Dogman, but Dogman, he's out there. He's there.
Well, that's what I wanted to see, Steven. I know we're running out of time right now, but if you wanted to come on for a part 2 and we could talk about the other creatures you've seen out there, we won't throw out any names of what these cryptids are or creatures. If you want to come on for a part 2 sometime in the month of May, I'd love to have you back on and we can analyze more tracks. And I'll try to get my second screen up and we can kind of look at the photos of the trail cams. What I can actually do, though, is take the trail cams that you've uploaded before and some of these casts where you've taken really good photos of, and I'll upload them to West Coast and people can analyze them there after the interview if you'd like to do that.
You know what? That's all fine with me, Shane. I'd love to come back on your show again, and any help that that I've been wanting to get these tracks 3-dimensional laser scanned, right? X-rayed. This will further prove the point that there was a living animal that had movement that was moving here and there.
Yeah.
Not only that, check this out. There's hair on some of these tracks. And I don't know if they're human hair or I don't know if it's the Dogman's hair, but I know that there's hair on them. So there's another angle of DNA extracting from the hair samples that are on the tracks. But however, the environmental factors of different movements of how the creature was moving, the terrain, the amount of sand, the porous, it all shows in different tracks. That's why I had to plaster 20, because 1 or 2 wouldn't stand on its own. 3, nah. 4, 5, I got 20, man. Come and look at every single one of them. And you know what? Thank you all, because I still got to clean them. So I'm really happy that we're going to come back in May. And talk more. They'll be cleaner, except for this track right here. I'm not going to clean this anymore. I think it's just perfect the way that it is. I just love it, and
I like it the way it is too. That's the most intriguing one I thought, and the one that's your favorite as well. because there's so much
Yeah,
detail in it.
and then there's rocks in it still that tell the story of the andesite lava flows. And this one's a lot more cleaner. And
Yeah.
they're all going to be this clean when I'm done. The bear tracks, like I said, they come out pure white. They're on mud surface.
Hmm.
So this guy's, they're a little bit harder. So when we talk to you in May, they're going to be a little bit more cleaner, more distinguished. And I want to show you one more. I mean, I got 18 of these, but I want to show you one more that I think is like totally righteous one. Hold on a second. Man, actually, I want to show them all to you, man. They're so crazy. But this one is absolutely insane, bro. This one is the most insane of them all,
Mhm.
maybe. In that it shows let me, I know we're running out of time. Check this out. So we got a left foot and a right foot. We got left heel, right heel.
Oh wow. No, you can definitely.
And this track is this track is a three-way. This one's a one-way. He stepped just one time on this one track. This one's a runway. Look at how deep it is. Look at how deep he went, for one thing. Look at that. That's just insane, man.
Interesting track. You can see how, for being 285 pounds of pure muscle, I was going to say that's pretty deep.
Yeah, and this track, like I said, I got to clean it a little bit more, but it's a three-way step. Check this out. It's a three-way. He went that way, this way, and that way. That's why these have to be three-dimensionally analyzed, because there's so much movement in there. This one right here is a two-way. He just went zip, zip, went boom, boom. This way, he cross-dimensionally did it. So,
yeah. Well, definitely have to check out the other tracks on the part 2 for sure.
Yep. Oh yeah, like I said, they'll be a lot cleaner, and left, rights, and all kinds of other interesting things. And we'll be taking a look at those photos.
Yeah, well, Stephen, I really appreciate you coming on. I really enjoyed having you on, brother. We'll definitely do a part 2. Where can everyone find you at?
Hey, you could go hiking in the Sierra Nevada mountains. You might find me.
Right.
Let's see, man, where can you find me? What do you mean? Where can you find me?
Like online, if someone's interested and had questions and wanted to ask you off the air, where could they find you? Are you?
Well, check this out. Thanks to you, and we have the Dogman. I'm on Dogman. I'm not leaving you guys, so you could ask me questions there. Over the next week or whatever, I'll be more than happy to show pictures. Excellent, from Fresno, California, baby. I love that area.
For sure. Well, Stephen, like I said, brother, it was an honor to have you on, like always. And I just love talking to you and learning stuff. So we'll definitely schedule something to have you on for a part 2 and sometime in May. And we'll definitely we'll post in the group and let everyone know.
Well, check this out. I think we just barely touched on things. We talked about my first night. So that's what happened my first night. So we got like 9 other nights to think about, to talk about. And then I gotta clean the tracks, man, a little bit more. And let's let me, here's a bunch of them right there.
Got a lot of them.
Next time too, I'm gonna be at a park. I live in the boondocks. I don't get any kind of reception, so I had to come all the way, find a place to communicate with you tonight. And I came to hot dog stand. So I'm giving it to you here. But next time, hopefully we're going to be in a park. We're going to set out everything, and we'll have more fun and talk about tracks and tracking. But
well, yeah, I'm definitely
thank
looking forward to it. So I appreciate it, brother, for jumping on with us tonight, and we'll talk to you real soon. Okay.
Oh, Shane, thank you so much, bro. I can't wait to see you and talk to you again. And thank you all for out there, West Coast Dogman folks. And hope you're all having a fine evening. And thanks for checking me out and my tracks and being part of our community and program, right? I mean, this is a miracle in itself that we even have Shane and West Coast Dogman Project. Because you know what? This is a taboo subject. A lot of people just can't handle it, man. They cannot
It really is.
handle it. And Shane, you're the man. And I wish you nothing but the best, and you and your family, nothing but great tidings and blessings, brother.
I really appreciate that, brother. And like I said, you're family to us. So I'll give you a call either later tonight or tomorrow, and we'll definitely schedule something, and then we'll post it in the group and let everyone know for a part 2.
Oh yeah, and no worries. I'll be more than happy to come on. And you know what? This is a big relief off of my chest right now. I feel so better, Shane, just being able to talk to you about it and other people about it, because I'm not really at liberty to talk to anybody about it. It's just something that just doesn't get talked about. So I'm thoroughly just happy as can be, man. You don't know how happy I am.
Like I said, it was an honor to have you on, and that's what friends are for. And I know like you said, we've been wanting to talk about it. Well, I'm back, brother. So we're here. We are. So we'll definitely get scheduled for a part 2, and just to talk more about it, and we'll go into day 2 all the way to day 10.
Yeah, and before we go, I'd just like to give a couple of kudos to some people out there. We have a bunch of friends out there. Kenny Tibero, Star Fox is out there. I want to say a ho to Star Fox. He big help to me also on keeping me sane in this world and taking a look at my stuff. I also want to say hello to my cousin Lisa and my cousin Junior, my 2 big supporters in my family out there who have helped me just maintain my balance, because it has not been easy, like I said. So there are some special people out there that have kept me in tune, like I mentioned Ken and Joan before. There's a lot of other people out there that I probably should say the name, just drawing a blank on them right now. You're always on my mind. Thank you all for having me.
Yep. We'll catch you on the next one, brother. Like I said, I'll give you a call here today or tomorrow, and we'll definitely set something up. Thanks again for coming on to the Dogman Vortex podcast.
Excellent, brother. Thanks so much, and I look forward to the next time. And thanks you from the bottom of my heart, bro, for having me on, man.
Yeah, anytime, brother. You have a good evening, okay?
I can't wait to take you and your son on a little, and we're gonna go to a little creek, man, and we're just gonna track some coyotes and things like that, bro.
Hey, hopefully get a dog, man.
Hey, soon as you learn how to make one track, dude, it's like you just don't stop, man. At least that's
right.
The way it is for me. So anyway,
well, yeah, thanks again, brother. I appreciate it. You have a good one, okay?
All right, you too, man. Thanks so much.
Thanks. Take care. Thank you. Well, thank you everyone for joining us tonight for our first episode back here on the Dogman Vortex podcast under the West Coast Dogman Project. We'll catch you on May 4th. Todd will be back, and we will be interviewing Jay Pachochin out of Wisconsin, who's had activity of dogmen out on Lee Hampel's farm. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.